Well, this test actually stems from a conversation that I was having on Sniper's Hide. The thread is about whether or not you'd want to step up to the TL3 over the Origin. The feature set is very similar. There's a few things that you can kind of customize and choose, but I think the one thing that stands out with the TL3 is going to be the recoil lug. So this recoil lug is not integral. It is machined separately. Keeps the cost down a lot in the manufacturing of the action. But is this causing another variable to go wrong when changing a barrel out? Can you leave the action in the chassis and still maintain a good zero? Or when you swap this out, are you introducing any kind of stress or secondary stress into your system? I brought up the Bighorn ridge to kind of help explain kind of my thinking. The recoil lug in this is also not integral. It has a bit of a hood over it, so it kind of looks clean, but it's not integral. If you remove this barrel, are you relieving any stress that may have been added to the recoil lug in the action? This stress would come from when you are seating the action into its stock or chassis. You'd want to bump it on the ground and actually seat this recoil lug up against the back of its recess. This may be negated by bedding. It might hold your recoil lug in the exact same spot a whole lot better. But if you are bumping this on the ground, are you introducing any forward pressure on the recoil lug? And when you remove the barrel, is that recoil lug going to relieve stress from the action and possibly from the action screws? Will that cause any movement? And if there is any movement, when you reinstall the barrel, is it going to pull the action forward again and cause more stress on the action screws, or it might change something, might change your point of zero or point of impact and cause your zero to shift. So that's kind of what I'm hoping to test. So to do this, I mean, the real reason is that you'd be switching between calibers, which would mean different barrels. So to do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to yank the 6.5 barrel. I'm going to reinstall the 224 barrel. Sorry, I should go back. I'm going to shoot this one, show you where the zero is, yank this barrel, put the 224 Valkyrie barrel on here. That's introducing a new shoulder and possibly changing how it interfaces with your recoil lug. It shouldn't, but it might. And then I'm going to pull that right back off. I won't even shoot it. I'm just going to put the 6.5 back on, and then I'm going to shoot it again and see if my zero has moved. Again, the worry is that anything may change, that there's stress on these action screws that may be relieved, stress on the action that may be relieved, and anything that may get pulled back and forth when tightening on this barrel. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm just going to run the test and see. I'm going to load up more 6.5 here. I just found a load that shoots well. The barrel's not even broken in yet, but this load is shooting about 0.3, so I think it's just fine for this test. So yeah, stick around for that. Well, apologies for the crappy camera angle. I have my phone leaned up against a cow pie here. Well, it's not the greatest group, but I guess we'll work with it. Okay, I'm just rushing back and forth here. I got my first group shot, and the weather's starting to get real nasty out there, so Gonna try to fly through this as fast as I can. Plan is yank this barrel, put the Valkyrie barrel on as if you were gonna go shoot it, and then switch back to this one and see what we've got. There we go. Taking the barrel off. Okay, the barrel's torqued on 75 foot-pounds. Okay, off again. Alright, well there you go. New barrel's on. I'm gonna head back out there. It's getting pretty nice. Alright, I got the camera going down there. I was able to find the same cow pie here. I'm gonna see if I can get you a better angle. Okay, see how this looks. Okay, let's see. That one felt bad. Go. Okay, so as kind of a wrap up here, I think it's worth mentioning this load I actually threw with the scale that was not calibrated, so I actually don't know if this was 39.8 grains. Doesn't really matter. I think this is plenty good enough to see if there was any effect by pulling the barrel off and putting it back on, and I'm gonna say yes. Now it's up to you guys. You guys can judge my my shooting ability, whether or not I'm doing something different each time, but I don't think so. These two are about the same height, so I'm pretty sure this is just a little bit of a shift from the change in charge, but from this group to this group there's a pretty significant shift. Haven't really measured it. I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's about an inch. Let's say 3/4 of an inch taller, so about 2/10 of a mil up. I'll let you guys do what you want with that. I don't think that this means if you have an Origin you should sell it and get a TL3, but if you are looking at a new action, I'd be really curious to see if a TL3 would keep at 0 any different than the Origin would. If anybody has a TL3 and they want to test that out, I would love to see it. All right, well, thanks for watching, guys.